Hey, this is Bert Burger, Sunova Surfboards, and today I'm going to be discussing with you our new Steeze model SUP. Okay, so if you look at most of the SUPs in the Sunova range to date, they're very specific designs for specific conditions. So we had a lot of customers that were basically saying, look, I just want an all-round board that does a little bit of everything. You know, I'm not a professional supper, and so, you know, make us something that is user-friendly. You know, I can nose ride it, catch waves easy, still surf it. And so that's the basic theme behind this board. So just going through the overall plan now with the plan shape. So what we did is we got a sort of typical longboard front end, sort of a little bit more parallel, plenty of area up front, and then by the time it comes through to the back end, it sort of pulls in and turns into more of a sort of performance SUP. So if there was two models that you wanted to sort of combine, you'd sort of say, look, it's got like the front end of the style and it's got like the back end of the flash. And so that's basically the outline. The board's also very comfortable to ride. What we've done is given it a very sort of flat deck, but then pinch the rails down quite low. So you'll notice that the deck's flat, gets to sort of about the shoulder here and sort of drops off. And the idea there is that it doesn't have this full-on roll. It's not real uncomfortable to stand on, but it's sort of very flat and comfortable. And then with the pinch down rail, that keeps a certain amount of water above the rail line, sort of helps with stability. But look, the board is quite wide anyway, and plenty of nose area. So the other thing that this nose area does is catches waves really easy. With all this front end, as soon as you start paddling forward, the board just climbs up on top of the water. And so wave catching is really good with this board. In general, what we've done with the rocker is we've kind of toned it down a little bit. Again, it's not as flat as a dedicated longboard, but it's also a little bit flatter than your more performance board. And so it has what's called like a mid rocker, sort of halfway in between. And again, that just enables it to plane, catch waves nicely, enable you to get up front on that nose area, on that flatter rocker, get back onto the tail, still be able to hook a turn. With the bottom contour, what we've done is we have a flat nose into a concave tail. So when we were prototyping this board, one of the early ones basically had a single concave all the way through and had more of a normal rail shape, and we found that coming off the top on the way down, the front just kind of caught the water a bit. So we thought, okay, we'll drop that concave in the nose, and also in the rail we've put kind of like a bevel. Like you'll see the flat here, and this section of rail here almost has like a 45-degree facet or chime on it through to the midpoint. And so when you come off the top, it means that that wide nose, which would kind of normally be in the way, it just sort of lifts the rail line a little bit more, enabling it to sort of fit in after you've come off the top. So with the flat front end and then the concave in the tail, just helps to sort of bite, you know, helps that concave engage, get on rail, and that as that water releases off the opposite rail over here, just helps you to keep it up on rail. So it has that combination of flat up front, nose doesn't get caught for a wide nose, concave in the tail. The rail, as we sort of mentioned before, it's quite pinched down for its volume, and it gets quite nice and refined through the tail. So once you get on the back end of this board, it still does perform relatively well. And then, of course, you can sort of climb up front. So the fin setup, we've got a 2+1. So, you know, you can either run it with a bigger single or you can run it as a thruster. If you run 3 similar size fins, you'll get more of that performance surfable feel. If you run the deeper center fin, you'll get more of a stable feel, because as you're sort of walking up the board with that fin in the water, if the board tilts at all, that fin has to sort of swoosh side to side. So that deeper center fin, 2+1, offers a lot more stability. Let's see, have I covered everything? So look, in general, this board is your all-rounder. It sort of would cover somebody who hasn't really made up their mind as to what sort of supping they want to do. Maybe someone that doesn't sup that often. They want something that's going to perform, that's going to let them catch waves easy. And so ultimately it's just a nice, user-friendly, all-round board.